To tak capi. Haha!
Is in dire need of cleansing.
Co jest, chłopie? Co się dzieje? Mów mi tu natychmiast. Spowiadaj się. Witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie na kanale Game Live z serii Final Fantasy XVI, gdzie na polski Finalna Fantazja 16, gdzie jakość wątpliwa, a komentarz w miarę satysfakcjonujący. Zapraszam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie i cieplutko do oglądania. No i dobra. Pozamiatałem.
Find something, boy. Death.
To śmierć ma jakiś zapach? Znaczy, nie no, trup, kurwa, trup ma zapach. Tak. Znaczy, nie żebym miał trupa w domu. Dobra, Bercik, nie pogrążaj się, kurwa. O. Kurwa, miałem rację. To tak capi. Smyru. To są sami nosiciele.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone?
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Clive.
To jest więcej niż pojebane. To jest pokurwione.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
Ogólnie bardzo tu pusto. Ojojoj. Nic nie mówią.
We're approaching Buick Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith. Fly, Ambrosia.
Fly!
I can
Okay.
walk from here.
To są ludzie.
Didn't happen to come by way of Oldhill, did you? Saw some Imperials clad in black making for the docks just the other day. The next morn, you couldn't see the sun for all the ravens.
Właśnie sens w tym, że ja właśnie stamtąd przychodzę.
I did, Mummy. I could hear him shouting from down the road.
They tell us there's a curfew, but they refuse us.
Passage to the provincial capital is restricted to Imperial Army personnel.
The gates are closed. Be gone.
Dobra.
Who am I to sell my wares?
Idę.
Rosarian.
But this is their home.
I'm hungry.
No nic, no. Po prostu chodźmy dalej. Ciche piaski.
Come on.
Yeah.
W ogóle popatrzyłbym na mapę, co tutaj mamy. Okej, czyli tak biednie raczej. Dzień dobry. Jedwabna plaż.
The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
Chuj
My
wie.
mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better.
Moja matka się wydarzyła. To jest właśnie przestroga, żeby nie zadzierać z mamami. Mamy jak się wkurwią.
And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Let us pass! My children are starving! Have mercy! Voice friends dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep!
Better out there than in here!
Oh, getting that fucking
And you chinless bastards! Those crystals belong to us all! I said, where were you, filth? Back to your sties! Cut you down where you stand! Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in.
Chodźmy naokoło. Albo wodą. A nie, zaś ty nie umiesz kurwa pływać. Co nie.
I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no.
Co masz na myśli?
My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus.
Okej.
We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
Nigdy nie wiadomo. Czarne światło płonie. Jak światło może być czarne i jak może płonąć?
Black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
Jill, nie pędź tak. Wejdę
Now we
tędy?
know why the
Nie.
refugees didn't come here.
Keep looking then.
No musi być tutaj gdzieś jakaś wyrwa. A nie, jednak brama. Dystrykt Lazarusa. Wejdź do dystryktu Lazarusa.
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Mimo to warto się rozejrzeć, ale no najwidoczniej nie ma tutaj za wiele. No taka korytarzówka, klasyka, nie? Idź tam, gdzie ci każemy.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Aha.
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
No to fajnie.
Or not.
Mam lepszy pomysł. Haha! Wrogowie zwyciężeni jednym skillem. Zyskałem tylko 24 niebieskiego, na którym mi najbardziej zależy. Mam już 1819. Dalej lipa.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
rising of the phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died.
Okej?
Me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
We can speak inside.
Cóż za pojednanie. Chociaż ja kurwa chłopa nie kojarzę. Jakoś tak nie mogę sobie go za cholerę przypomnieć, szczerze mówiąc.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye, the foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we. Make ready.
A co zamierzacie zrobić? Jeśli mogę spytać.
This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else.
Aha.
If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
No to przypilnujmy, żeby tak nie było.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
For
Imagine this
respect.
endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
Allow me to tend to your needs, my lord.
A, kurwa, ale bieda. Oj, 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 oj. Karmazynowe prędzle. To kolor krwi, który karmi moją wściekłość. Tradycyjna bitewna inwokacja. Zwiększają ilość przełamania limitu generowanego. Jakieś marne 3%. Co mi kurwa z tych 3%? Może mi ktoś powiedzieć, co mi z tych 3%? Praktycznie nic.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Dobra, no fajnie mi się tego wszystkiego słucha, ale może ruszmy już do ataku, co?
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
Nie chcę wyjść na zniecierpliwionego, ale mimo wszystko.
And so we shall.
Podczas głównego wątku do Clive'a dołączą czasem towarzysze, którzy zechcą mu pomóc. Jednakże, w zależności od aktualnego celu Clive'a, mogą podjąć decyzję o pozostaniu w kryjówce.
We'll keep them from the bridge.
The blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
Dobra.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Run like the wind.
Po prostu tam jedźmy. Ciche piaski. Witam ponownie.
Look at me sideways.
Come along now.
Bastard and
There they are. On your command, my lord.
Już! Nie ma co czekać. Widzę, że dyskusja tutaj pełną
What is
parą.
it now? I told you.
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could
Dokładnie.
go against the might of the Black Shields?
Tak!
Then come, die along with your flame.
No,
For us area!
for us area!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
o kurwa.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far.
Prze!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
Co to kurwa jest? Haha!
More dragons.
Worms. The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
No kurwa, no i w sumie to... Co, ty też? Chodź, kurwa, chodź.
Albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
No, jakoś tak kurwa się ciebie nie boję. Ah! Oj, oj, oj. Dobra, oddaję ci kołd, jesteś całkiem kurwa silny.
There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
No cóż.
Finish him.
Ała! Ty kurwa, boję się go. No cóż, jego mamy z głowy. Ale nie, gdyby nie dwie mikstury lecznicze, to tak trochę cienko. Bo dawałem się wiele razy jebnąć po prostu i to był mój błąd, ale po prostu go kurwa zlekceważyłem, czyli coś, czego nie powinienem robić.
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it, as we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
Sam sobie to zlecił, sam to zrobił. Jakby ja za dużo do gadania nie miałem, więc... Sir Wade'zie, ja... Słowami Clyda, ja... 3 kropeczki. Rób co chcesz.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
Kurwa, jaki uśmiechnięty. Zdobyto pieczęć, przyjmujesz od Wade'a spalone ostrze.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
Dzięki, żeś mnie przepuścił. Doceniam. Wszystko doceniam. Port Isolde. Cesarska prowincja Rosarii. Dwór Rosfieldów.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Okay.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well.
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod.
Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse the
Chyba mu uwierzył.
infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint of the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit.
See that you use the good plates, Rutherford.
Się wujo ucieszył! Nie dziwię mu się,
So you
kurwa.
arrived late to one of her cullings, did you?
Myślał, że nie żyje,
Since
to...
becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low.
Naprawdę szok.
Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster.
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you
Tygodni?
believe us then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she? Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Jill, co się dzieje?
Something on your mind?
Jill?
Monsters.
A, faktycznie zwróciła uwagę na to słowo.
When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Nie chcę wam przerywać tej wyjątkowej sceny, ale no kurwa, to jest dowód na to, że trzeba rozmawiać, nie? Coś cię trapi i Jill o tym opowiada. To jest mega zdrowa relacja, mega fajnie się ogląda coś takiego, jak oni tak rozmawiają o tych swoich problemach. To jest tak po prostu zrobione w punkt, że nawet jak nie chciałbyś tego słuchać, co myślisz, o kurwa, jakieś ckliwe momenty cię czekają. One są tak ładnie, płynnie poprowadzone, że aż... Kurwa, szkoda, że w prawdziwym świecie ciężko jest trafić na coś takiego, nie? Kurwa, po prostu taka relacja, mówienie sobie praktycznie wszystkiego, co czują, co przeżywają, jakie emocje nimi targają, to jest po prostu majstersztyk emocjonalny, nie? Ale to tyle. Tu czekają potwory.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
Porozmawiaj z Vivien, ale najpierw pogadam sobie z tym ziomeczkiem. Ewidentnie coś chce. Pomocnik kuchenny Iwan.
I didn't take you for a scholar, Ivan.
Oh, this? Well, it's Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in the realm so foul it can't be cooked up into something delicious.
Think I'll stick to the unfoul ones, thanks.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, one glance at these recipes, and even you would trade in your sword for a butcher's cleaver. From spit roasts to sweetmeats, this book has them all. What I wouldn't give to bring these recipes to life.
If it's my blessing you're hoping for, then by all means.
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first tunnel worm I came across would be the death of me. But you're made of sterner stuff. Would you help me resurrect one of these recipes?
Pewnie.
Something tells me you won't be taking no for an answer. Fine, I'll help.
Fantastic! Thank you.
So, dare I ask what's on the menu?
Chance's Stew. It was once a favourite among the gourmands of Oriflamme, if the author is...
Czyli jedziemy do Oriflamme.
Though Molly's never heard of it. The only problem is that while the recipe is extremely detailed in most respects, it's infuriatingly cryptic as to the main ingredient. A beast, no doubt. Most likely something that would make easy work of a simple cook with more broth than brawn, but unwanted violets. I've no idea what they might be.
Does the book say anything else?
Well, only that the sweetest violets sprout atop the bed of roses.
Roses. Rosaria, perhaps? One of the butchers in Martha's Rest might know something. I'll ask next time I'm there.
No dobra. W którym to kierunku? Tam, okej. Porozmawiaj z rzeźnikiem w zajeździe Marty. Aha, to musiałbym się udać do zajazdu Marty, a tutaj mam po prostu jeszcze jedną misję, Smutek Kowala, którą sobie rozpocznę, zanim ruszę do zajazdu Rosarii, bo coś mi się wydaje. Tak, dobrze mi się wydaje. To zacznę sobie jeszcze tą misję. Bo jeśli każe mi gdzieś iść, no to wiecie o co kaman. August.
Clive! Oh, am I glad to see you?
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself. And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. Look, normally it only takes a couple of drinks to perk him back up, but not this time. Something's getting him down. And whatever it is, he ain't telling. It's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about stuff. But I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit? So, what do you say?
Pewnie.
Fine. If you think it will help.
I knew you'd understand.
But if he doesn't want to talk, we let him be. He'll open up when he's ready.
All right.
Może potrzebuje
We only
czasu.
smell a rat if we both turn up at once. So, I'll go first, and you can meet us at the forge. Wait a bit, then head over when you're ready.
Taking quite a liking to Lady Karen.
Co jest, chłopie? Co się dzieje? Mów mi tu natychmiast. Spowiadaj się.
1st August, and now you. What are you pair up to? What's it got to do with me?
August was worried that something had been weighing on your mind. I thought you might want to talk about it.
Did you now? I told you not to stick your nose in my business. What'd you go and do?
Martwi się o
Clive
ciebie.
just wants to help, innit? What's so bad about that? Talk to him. You never know, you might feel better for getting it all out in the open. Please, mate. I'm worried about
No
you.
dokładnie.
Phil shut you up. It's nothing really. Stupid. Not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of level work. Light, supple, and tougher than it had any right to be. Made my stuff look like heavy, clumsy shit. I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. Now, every time I reach for my hammer, I'm reminded that I'm not the craftsman I thought I was. There. You happy? You got what you came for? Now piss off.
All right, we're going.
Po prostu poczułeś poczucie niskiej wartości. W jednym wielkim skrócie. Poczułeś się gorszy. A to nieprawda, kurwa. To po prostu
I
nieprawda.
thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Like a storm cloud full of ale. Didn't think anything could rattle him. Least of all a stupid piece of leather.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Questioning it means questioning himself. Something tells me this is only going to get worse. If he has doubts, it will affect his work, which will only add to his problems. We need to nip this in the bud.
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass. Perhaps we should track it down for him. Assuming you're happy to help, that is.
Too bloody right I am.
Glad to hear it. First things first, then. We need to speak to Karen.
Okej.
That monster's taken quite. Karen, do you have a moment? Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by a leather cuirass. An exquisite example of the craft, from what he told us.
And he ain't been himself since he saw it. So we thought we'd buy it for him.
Sorry, sold it already.
Co, kurwa?
Blackthorn cared for it the way he turned his nose up. But it was
Komu?
nicely put together, that's for certain. even if the bloke who made it is a bit of an odd one. Happened across him on my travels. Makes all his stuff to order, but the fella who commissioned it refused to pay. He didn't like the colour of summit, so I took it off his hands for a fair price.
You don't know where we might find him, do you?
Like I said, he's a bit of an odd one. Doesn't even have a workshop. He don't trust hunters neither, which means he spends as much time out tracking beasties as he does working their hides.
I see.
He did tell me something, though. Apparently, his next commission's for a set of griffin hide greaves.
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. The curse breakers were placing bets on who'd bag it. Now, where the bleeding hell was it sighted? Somewhere in Sambrec, maybe? Cairnorthern, that was it.
Thank you, Karen. We'd be lost without you.
At least you admit it.
So, it sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance we have of finding our roaming leatherworker.
I'll leave the hunting to you if you don't mind. While you get on with that, I'll ask around the markets. See if I can't sniff out who he is and where he's hiding.
Good idea. Hopefully one of us will be able to track him down.
No dobra, czyli strategię jakąś mamy, a to dobrze. Użyj tablicy łowieckiej, by znaleźć gryfa. Będziemy mogli wykorzystać tą nową funkcję, która się pojawiła w kryjówce. No specjalnie chyba misja poboczna zrobiona właśnie pod to. Zobaczymy, o co w tym kaman. No właśnie, może to jest polowanie na rzadkie potwory, coś tak w taki sposób. Clive, tu jesteś, Kubo! Wszędzie cię szukam!
What's the matter, Nectar?
Właśnie to, Kubo!
The hunt board? It's where the curse breakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know?
No co ty, Kubo? Wiem to bez ciebie! I dlatego musisz mi pomóc! Nie muszę ci chyba przypominać, Kubo, że jestem najpotężniejszym ze wszystkich mugli. Żaden leśny... Kurwa, dlatego musisz je powybijać, Kubo.
Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Alastia are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the curse breakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
Dziękuję, Kubo. Wreszcie ktoś mnie rozumie. Bo reszta to tempechuje i będę miał oko na wszystkie zamieszczone na tablicy ogłoszenia, jeśli będziesz... Kurwa. Obejrzyj tablicę łowiecką, spytaj o polowania. Zauważyłeś, że za każdym zleceniem powiązana jest jakaś lokalizacja, Kubo? To miejsca, w których widziano dane potwory. Oczywiście nikt nie oczekuje, że zapamiętasz nazwę wszystkich miejsc w całej krainie. W końcu jesteś tylko człowiekiem, Kubo. Dlatego jeśli nie kojarzysz nazwy miejsca, Kubo, to spróbuj przeczytać relacje świadków. Czasem znajduje się w nich inne szczegóły, które mogą pomóc ci wytropić i wyeliminować paskudy. Okej. Nie pytam. Czy dobrze usłyszałem, że masz nadzieję na upolowanie gryfa, Kubo? W takim razie mam dla ciebie zlecenie, Kubo. Chodzi o wyjątkowo paskudnego gryfa zwanego Domestos. Aha, kurwa mać. Aha, mieszkańcy wiejskich obszarów wywieszają na tablicy łowieckiej ogłoszenia o terroryzujących ich bestiach z nadzieją, że nieustraszeni herosi, tacy jak Clive, podejmą się wytropienia i zabicia tych znanych potworów. Jest... O kurwa, jest tego więcej. A ja poluję na gryfa. Który to jest? Tego ubiłem. No, tego ubiłem. Anioł śmierci, Belfegor, Dosmea, okej. Ale tutaj mam jeszcze jedne. Nimi też bym się zajął, ale może to później. Dosmea, podążając szlakiem z Lost Wingu do Cairnorvent, jeden z członków naszego bractwa był świadkiem tak silnego uderzenia wiatru, że połamało ono pnie starych dębów, a towarzyszący temu ryk był tak straszliwy, że wziął nogi za pas. Miejscowi twierdzą, że obszar ten stanowi teren lęgowy starego gryfa imieniem Domestos. Stwora wyjątkowo znienawidzonego przez wzgląd na nienasycony głód Chocobo i dzieci. Zachodnia brama Caernarvon Sunbreak. Zachodnia brama Caernarvon Sunbreak. Okej. Ubiję skurwysyna. Glories. Święte oko. Gdzie ja w ogóle jestem? Dolina Norwentu. Brama rzeczna w Carwent. Okej. Brama Kutera. Przejście piwnicy. Brama coś tam. Farma Gultanga. Kurwa, powiem wam. Brama Pokutników. Bygord. Northreach. Smocze Gniazdo. Lost Wing. Wzgórza Orbley. No i co kurwa, gdzie on jest? Okej, mimo wszystko tutaj zakończę sobie odcinek, znajdziemy tego gryfa w następnym odcinku, który okaże się później, ponieważ wracam do systemu 2 odcinki z tego, 2 odcinki z tego, 2 odcinki z tego, 2 odcinki z tego, czyli stary system podawania odcinków. Więc co, żegnam się z Państwem i oczywiście odsyłam do innych serii na kanale z farcikiem ziomeczki. Yo, zostaw subika.